Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome in. Good evening. So great to be back. I missed you all. I feel like it's been so long since we've done a hockey stream in the evening. Thanks so much for joining in and welcome to Free Agent Frenzy. What a crazy day this has been. I can't wait to dive right in and talk about all the trades, the signings, the total shenanigans that today was. I hope you've all had a good day. So let's see who's here. Coaster Mom, what's up? Death Greatest Kids, hey, how's it going? Road Warriors, hello. Morgan, Not My Circus, What's Shaking? Ian B, Dallas, hello, hello, hello. Oh my gosh, Bernie, what's up? Francisco, thanks everybody for coming in, checking us out. Maria, hello. Man, what an evening we have for you tonight. There was so much going on in the world of hockey, and I cannot wait to jump right in and talk about it. What we're going to do is we're going to start off with the trades. We're going to talk through very, very quickly all the trades because there have been a lot that have gone on in the last couple of days. And then we're going to get right into all the free agent signings. And there have been a boatload. So, man, I'm so excited to be here. Again, thank you all for joining us. It's great to see you. So let's not waste any time. Let's get right in to what's going on in the world of NHL hockey. So we know a lot of you have your own teams that you cheer for. Almost all the teams were in the action in one way or another. So let's start recapping and seeing what exactly has been going on. That's right, Dallas, 91 days. Ottawa Senators, what's going on at your cottage? Fantastic. You have the whole team there? Ottawa Senators, and it's a great way of segmenting, so thanks for coming in. Ottawa is one of my early winners that I say for today. Ottawa, what a splash they've made. They've looked fantastic. Christina G, welcome. Stephen, hello, welcome in. Yeah, absolutely. Ingram, Cooley, man, there's so much going on. Coaster Mom showing her member, been there 4 months. Thank you, Coaster Mom, appreciate it. Celebrating the 4 months with the channel member too. I have to say, let's give a shout out to Coaster Mom, who was, I think, the very first person who came in during our first live stream. So Coaster Mom will always have that to celebrate. So thank you, Coaster Mom, for, gosh, almost a year. We've been doing this almost a year. So we're going to celebrate when that time comes. There's Ian as well, also 4 months as a member. Thank you very much, Ian. We appreciate that. All right, let's jump in. Here's all the trades that have been going on. I'm going to go through the trades pretty quick, and we're going to back it up just a little because we know that there have been, gosh, there's so much. Let's start it off with what came down the other day. The Toronto Maple Leafs, there's Dallas in there as well, celebrating her membership, 4 months as well. Thank you, Dallas. Getting them all out there. Love it. So let's start with the Toronto Maple Leafs. I know we had lots of people that were watching our draft coverage, so thanks for that. There was so much fun we had at the draft. The draft was crazy, lots of surprises in there. And then just the other day, we're going to start it off. We're going to backtrack a couple of days. There's Not My Circus as well, getting in at there. Not My Circus, 4 months as well. And thank you so very much as well. Scotty, what's going on? The Leafs need to get busy. Yes, they do. Detroit, what's up? Welcome in. Here we go. Here are the trades. We're going to back it up to July 11th. We had Maple Leafs acquiring Matt Murray. If you've been living under a rock or just not in Toronto, Matt Murray, a 3rd-round pick and a 7th-round pick coming to Toronto for future considerations. Love the future considerations. So what that essentially tells me is future considerations, depending on how Murray does, will determine which level of draft pick he gets. Road Warriors getting in there 2 months. Thank you, Road Warriors. What a rush. Exactly. It's the member shout out train. Love it. I love it. And again, thank you guys so much for all of the support. So there we go. We kicked it off with the Matt Murray trade. We then saw just yesterday, Cam Talbot, he goes to Ottawa and they flip goalies. Essentially, Philip Gustafson, he goes back to Minnesota. So what happens is Ottawa unloads Matt Murray to Toronto. A lot of Toronto fans not happy with that deal. I'm okay with it. Matt Murray has a lot of potential. I know he didn't work out in Ottawa, but Matt Murray, he won 2 Stanley Cups with Pittsburgh. He has a lot of potential with the right goalie coach and the right team in front of him, could do really well. So we'll have to see how that shapes up. But Ottawa and Minnesota flip goalies, Cam Talbot to Ottawa, Gustafsson to Minnesota. Boston getting in today on the trade front, acquiring Pavel Zacha for Eric Haula, going to the New Jersey Devils. Now the Carolina Hurricanes, Carolina also been moving around, movers and shakers today. Lewis, how's it going? They acquired Brett Burns. I didn't think San Jose was ever going to move Brett Burns, but Brett Burns moves to Carolina, and the Sharks are retaining 33% of that contract. That he also comes over with Lane Pedersen. Going back to San Jose, Steven Lawrence, Itu Mekanimi, and a 3rd-round pick. Now the Rangers also doing a lot today. They acquire Ty Emberson from the Arizona Coyotes, sending back over Patrick Namesmith in a 2nd-round pick. Carolina not done. They're getting involved. Carolina picking up Max Pacioretty, Max Pacioretty and Dylan Coghlan going to Carolina from Vegas, again, for future considerations. And then just in about 45 minutes ago or so, Connor Brown picked up by the Ottawa Senators in exchange for a 2nd-round pick. So those are all the trades that happened in the last couple of days. Anthony the Molar Man, what's on? Listen, Boston was hot today. Boston did a bunch of moves today. Bear Shark signed off the name deal. He put his John Hancock on the dotted line there. Goalie situation, not too bad. I'm okay too. Good. Cujo in the house. What's going on? Yeah, Connor Brown to the Capitals for a 2nd-round pick. Yeah, yes, Connor Brown. I'm okay with that. Connor Brown, I like him. I'm a big fan. And Bernie, Washington got a whole lot stronger today. Really, really stronger. So let's jump into all the free agent signings, because that's really what we're here for. So we're going to go down, and there's quite a few. And again, just like we did with the trades, Yorko, what's up? We're going to back it up a little bit, just a couple of days. So let's start it off with the Stanley Cup champs. A huge signing, huge deal. Nichushkin, he signs 8 years, $49 million total, a $6.13 million cap hit. This was a great deal. Nichushkin was a superstar in the playoffs for Colorado, so they had to sign him. I'm glad they did. I know Avs fans are certainly glad they did. So happy that he stays right there in Colorado. Until they just nice, Bernie, nice. Then we move it up. Some of these, Cam Dineen, we're going to skip over some of the players that aren't major. Ricard Raquel, here's a huge signing for Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh bringing in Raquel, 6 years, another big deal at $30 million, $5 million cap hit. This was good. I wasn't sure if Raquel was going to stick around in Pittsburgh or not, but looks like they sealed the deal for 6 years with Raquel. Now, as we move, there's some minor deals here. A lot of, depth players, shall we say. So we're just going to kind of skip by some of these. We're going to get to the names. There's a lot of these depth players. Malcolm Subban, here's one. Buffalo in the mix. Buffalo also with lots of signings today. Picking up Malcolm Subban, $850K. So that's a nice little pickup. Malcolm Subban is going to come into his own one of these days, but he's a good backup for now. Have you been to the Canadian Tire Center TD Stadium Arena Bells? No, I have not, Detroit. I have not at all. This was a big signing. We weren't sure if this was going to happen. Evgeny Malkin staying in Pittsburgh. There were big rumors that he was going to get scooped up or made offers by other teams, that he wasn't going to be able to stick around. But the Pens get it done, 4-year length, $6.1 million cap hit. Malkin staying in Pittsburgh. So that's a big deal to keep part of their core intact there. As we start moving later last night, really late last night, early this morning, actually, the deal gets done for Evander Kane. He's going to stay in Edmonton 4 years, 20 and a half, getting the deal done. Ottawa might be looking at adding Uyghur from Florida in a package for a 2nd round. Oh, wow. That would be interesting, Bernie. That would be really interesting. And I'd hate to see Uyghur sign elsewhere. Florida taking a real big hit today. They they lost a lot of players that they couldn't sign. And we're gonna get to that momentarily. So Evander Kane was really the big signing. And then free agency starts, and we got a couple of these two-way contracts. So we're gonna blow right by there. Darren signing 1 year. He's staying for the Avs, going to make another run in it. Great player. Did a great job in the playoffs for the Avs. He's going to stay. Avs also securing Josh Manson, 4 years, 18 mil. Again, another big signing. Florida wants to get money to extend Huberdeau. That makes sense. That makes sense. So as we go up, was Josh Manson on there twice? No. Josh Manson, he stays 4 years, 18 mil. That's great. Cooley, 1 year. Victor Olofsson, this was a good deal by Buffalo. He picks up, stays in Buffalo. Victor Olofsson, 2 years, 9.5 mil, 4.75, just under 5 million. He had 20 goals, 29 assists last year. Buffalo's going to be a real force to be reckoned with. So really nice to see him staying in Buffalo. Olofsson just kind of coming into his own. Then Edmonton, the first real big splash, getting on the board early, signing Jack Campbell, the ex-Toronto Maple Leaf goaltender. Stupi going to Edmonton, 5 years, $5 million a hit. This was a huge signing for Edmonton. We knew that they wanted them. He's been looking to go there. The hockey world knew this was going to happen. Blair, what's going on? Welcome in. So Jack Campbell, he is reuniting with a whole bunch of ex-Leafs, the Edmonton Leafs, we should call them. Campbell going to the Oilers. Now, this was a big one. This one hurts Florida, but a huge signing for Giroux. Giroux going home, signing with the Ottawa Senators. 3 years, $6.5 million a year. This was a huge pickup for Ottawa. And as soon as I saw this happen, I knew Ottawa was going to be a big player today and really look to improve their team. And this was a big signing for the Ottawa Senators. Surprising to me. As we continue on that, Ilya Samsonov, Toronto Maple Leafs, getting a backup goaltender, picking up Samsonov, 1 year, 1.8 mil. I'm kind of iffy on Samsonov. I mean, they had to do something. They couldn't go with Wall or Hutchison or Shallegren as their backup all season. So essentially, they took what they got with Murray and, what Ottawa was retaining, 25% of Murray's contract, and you bring in Samsonov is pretty much around, what they would have had to shell out for Campbell or give or take. So nice little signing. Samsonov, again, a lot of potential, but here's Toronto. Toronto putting all their eggs in the basket of potential. So it could get done. Samsonov and Murray can be a nice little tandem for Toronto. But what it's going to come down to is defense. Toronto needs defense. 1.8 is a good salary on Sammy. Low risk, high reward. That's true. That is true. It's a good price for him. But we'll have to see, if Murray goes down or just doesn't cut it and he has to play long-term, can he cut it long-term? But again, I like that pickup. It'll be a nice tandem. St. Louis getting the mix, picking up Thomas Greiss. He'll be a backup there. Coming in 1 year, $1.3 million. Nice little pickup. Calgary dipping in with Kevin Rooney coming in for 2 years. Curtis Lazar, here's a nice, again, a little bit of a depth player coming in, signing with the Vancouver Canucks. He comes in $3 million a year. Nice little pickup there for the Knuckleheads. This was a big one for the St. Louis Blues, securing Robert Thomas, 8 years for just over $8 million a year. This was huge. Robert Thomas has really been exploding. He had a great season. Robert looks great. He looks good. And this is a huge signing, securing him to stay in St. Louis. So 8 years, just over $8 million for our good friend, Robert Thomas, our good friend who we've never met. Then the Bear Shark will be happy, and I know I'm happy. Vincent Trocheck. I'm a huge Vincent Trocheck fan. He signs with the New York Rangers, $7 million, just over $5.5 million per year. huge deal. Trocheck goes to the Rangers. The Rangers didn't sign a lot of players, so this was great that he goes in. He's going to play a great role, kind of taking over the role that Ryan Strome had with the Rangers. Vincent Trocheck going in. This is a great signing by the Rangers. I'm really excited for Ranger fans going to be able to watch Trocheck game in and game out. Toronto picking Stanley Cup denter, Nicolas Aube-Kubel, the one who dropped the Stanley Cup, going in for the picture. He signs 1 year, $1 million contract. That's all right. We'll see how he plays. Listen, Toronto needs some of these cheap depth guys to fill the role. I know, Ian, you're a huge Avs fan. You kind of had some good things to say about Kubel. We watched him in the playoffs. He played well. He will fit in nicely to this team on Toronto. I think this is actually a really nice signing, a really nice pickup, and the salary fits right in to what we had to acquire. Scotty, I don't think Palat has signed yet, at least not that I've seen, but there's still, the deals are still rolling in. So it is very possible that while we're talking here, we may see something come in for Palat. Now, Andrew Copp, here's one of those Ranger players that wasn't able to stay in New York. He moves out, signs in Detroit. And Detroit, again, they're looking really good. Steve Yzerman over with the Red Wings making some great moves. And it looks like they're just getting stronger and stronger, the Red Wings are. Andrew Copp signing there, 5-year deal. Again, he's going to go home. He's from the Detroit area. So a nice pickup there. And Andrew Copp in an interview had really good things to say about kind of going home and playing for the Red Wings. Nick Leddy, huge, great defenseman. He signs 4 years in St. Louis. So again, another key component to St. Louis, just getting in there and really, making a difference. So Nick Leddy, I'd love to have him on my blue line. Olli Määttä, he goes to Detroit, another pickup, of 1-year deal to help Detroit kind of move their way along. Now this signing here hurts. This one hurts. Let me make it a little bigger here. Ilya Lyubushkin, my boy, Ilya Lyubushkin leaves Toronto. I'm crushed. Ilya Lyubushkin, he's going to sign just across the QEW in Buffalo. Buffalo, they're going to be such a good team this year, taking my hard-hitting defenseman at 1 year, $2.75 million. Great signing here for the Buffalo Sabres. He'll do amazing on the blue line. Yeah, Dallas, I heard the Blue Jays fired their manager after losing 9 of their last 11 games. So I didn't look too much into that story, but I did hear that earlier today. Jays firing their manager. This was an interesting signing. Hey, Texas Hockey Cards, what's going on? Welcome in. We're going to get to Gaudreau. In just a little bit. Gaudreau did sign, and we're going to get there. But right now, we are with Max Domi. Max Domi surprisingly signs in Chicago. 1 year, $3 million. I was a little surprised. Max Domi and Andreas Anastasiou both sign in Chicago, helping to build out a stronger Chicago team for this year, trying to help propel them forward. I would have expected Max Domi to go elsewhere. Was not expecting Chicago to be the location, but nice couple of pickups, at least for 1 year. Chicago's going to be in tough. They're going to have a tough season, but nice to see, a couple of guys here, good hockey players going over. Now this one hurts as well. Vancouver taking my Ilya Mikheyev. Mikheyev, we really wanted to keep him in Toronto, but we just couldn't afford him. Here's a guy, he signs a 4-year deal. Good for him, making some bank. Worth $19 million, $4.75 a year. This is a guy, he's never going to be a 30-goal scorer, but what he brings is speed. He brings penalty killing. He just brings the playmaking, and he can work with some finishers in Vancouver and really getting it done. So this is a really nice pickup. A little overpaid, probably a little overpaid for Mikheyev, but hey, Vancouver, they need speed, and their penalty killing was right at the bottom of the league. So he's definitely going to help in those areas. Yeah, both were sought after at the deadline. That's true, Bernie. That is true. And yes, Chicago has gone insane. It's crazy in Chicago. But those are good signings. And so is Mikheyev. I'm really happy Mikheyev. He's going to go play with some great talent over in Vancouver. So that will be really, really good news for him. Now we got the Rangers making another move, picking up Halak. Halak going to come in here 1 year, $1.55 million. He'll get a little bit of time as the backup goaltender. Listen, I'm a little biased on Halak. I'm not a big fan of his. I shouldn't say biased, but I'm not a big fan of his. I've had Halak in many hockey pools over the years, and he's always let me down. So Halak signs to the Rangers. Good luck to your Rangers. That's all I got to say about that. Namestnikov signs in Tampa Bay. They got there early, getting in Namestnikov. He returns back to Tampa Bay, so a nice little one-year pickup there for a depth player. Arizona signing Nick Bjugstad. Nice little pickup for Bjugstad. He's going to go to Phoenix and make a bit of a difference. Josh Brown also signing in Arizona, but we're not going to spend too much time talking about Arizona. There he is, Triton. Welcome in, calling out a member also for a couple of months. Thank you very much, Sir Triton, and welcome in. We appreciate it. We appreciate all of our members. So thank you for being here. Leafs going in, making another kind of depth signing, picking up Adam Gaudette, $750K for 1 year. Danielle, what's going on? Welcome in. Now, I really like this signing. Adam Gaudette, 25 years old. He was initially drafted pretty high by the Vancouver Canucks, and there was a lot of promise with Adam Gaudette. He kind of bounced around a little bit, couldn't really get it going, hasn't really been able to prove himself or live up to expectations. But of course, what does Toronto do? We say, hey, we have no money, so we'll pay you the minimum and see what you can do. So Gaudette's going to come in, be a little bit of a role player, and see if we can light a spark. Maybe a change of scenery, some playing with some good talent will help advance him in his career. Frank Vetrano, here's a key contributor to the Rangers. First in Florida, was a key contributor in Florida, going over to the Rangers. Now he's going to sign in Anaheim, 3 years, $3.65 million. Nice little pickup, Frank Vetrano. Daniel, how's it going? Welcome in. There's a chance of Kadri. Daniel, there's a chance of Kadri going everywhere. There's a lot of teams pushing to get Kadri, I'll tell you that much. Carolina with a savage tweet. They thanked future considerations for their contributions to the franchise. That's awesome. I love NHL social media games, man. They are fantastic. Brett Kulak, he came over to the Oilers at the trade deadline. I believe it was from Montreal. So he's going to sign there. Brett Kulak, 4 years, going to remain in Edmonton. Edmonton looking really, really strong right now with keeping Kane, picking up Soupy, Jack Campbell. They're keeping Kulak for 4 years. So Edmonton really securing all their pieces. McCabe will spend most of his money paying for a house in Vancouver. Yeah, probably the way the market is there, for sure. Now, Tampa really made a huge splash today. It was pretty obvious they weren't going to sign Ondrej Palat, which is unfortunate because I think we all will agree Palat has been a huge part of the Tampa Bay franchise for years. But Tampa comes out, they signed Sergachev 8 years at $8.5 million. Lock in this D up long term. That's a lot of cash to be dishing out. Not only did they sign Sergachev, they signed a couple other players that are coming up here very shortly. So we're going to skip over a couple of these other depth players. And here it is, Anthony Cirelli, also signing long-term, 8 years in Tampa Bay, $6.2 million. Anthony Cirelli coming in huge. So a couple really big signings there for Tampa Bay Lightning. Oh, and what's that? They're not done yet either. Also locking up Eric Chernick, 8 years, $5.2 million. So Tampa Bay goes out and just signs 3 players for 8 years. It's crazy. $160 million in 8-year extensions. It's crazy. Cirelli and Bogosian both out 4 to 6 months after recent shoulder surgeries. Yeah, and huge. Tampa really investing in these players and creating a new little core for themselves because they know they're going to start running into some cap issues over the next couple as well. So we're going to scroll along here. Brendan Lemieux, Darcy Kuemper. This was a big one. And congratulations, Bernie, and the Washington Caps signing Darcy Kuemper, 5 years, 5.25. Bernie, are you happy with this signing? Are you happy to see Washington picking up Kuemper? I know from a Toronto standpoint, he was linked to potentially coming to Toronto before they made the Matt Murray deal. I would have liked to see Kuemper coming. I know he had a solid run with Colorado. Colorado really had the pieces in front. So, Kuemper would play well. He'd kind of go into a little slump. They'd pull him, they'd give him a rest, and then he'd come back. So you have a nice backup goaltender, give Kuemper the break. I think he can come in and make a significant difference. So I think this is a nice little signing here for Washington, picking up Darcy Kuemper to come in and strengthen their goaltending. Now, not done yet. Alex Satlek, Chicago, nice little signing there. Yeah, Kuemper definitely best of the bunch. Reason Arizona did anything in bubble a couple years ago. Yep, 100%. 100%, Bernie. Tampa again, locking up Ian Cole for 1 year. Bolster that blue line. Charlie Lindgren signing in Washington. Brendan Smith. Mason Marchment. This was a big one. Mason Marchment was a huge, huge asset for the Florida Panthers in this past season, especially into the playoffs before he got a little banged up. He leaves Florida, heads over to Dallas, 4 years, $4.5 million. Nice signing here for the Dallas Stars in Mason Marchment. He's only getting better. Nola Kari, Mr. Atari, he signs over in St. Louis. This was another one, I believe he was with Panthers. He's going to leave and go over and sign with St. Louis. So a nice pickup. The Blues doing a good job. Colin Blackwell, Blackwell. So this is another one that hurts. He's going to sign over in Chicago, 2 years, 1.20 mil cap hit per year. So Colin Blackwell now over with the Chicago Blackhawks. Up and down week for Mason. That's right, Bernie. That's right. And we should touch on that. Mason Marchment losing his father not long ago, and now having this high of signing this big, big deal. So definitely an up and down couple of days there for Marchment. Lindblom signs over in San Jose. He gets 2 years at $2.5 million. Atari Lehkonen. This is another big, big signing here for the Avs, securing Lehkonen 5 years, $4.5 million. Huge, huge deal to secure him for a good contract. I think this is a great, great signing. He played well, especially was a key contributor during the playoff run. So this was an awesome, awesome signing by the Avs. And we're going to blow by Arizona. Columbus starting to get it, signing Eric Gabranson. This is only one of a few big signings from Columbus. 4 years, $4 million. Jan Ruda, he's going to head over to Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh getting a little stronger on their D. He's going to sign 3 years, $2.75. And again, if you are just coming in and you're not subscribed, make sure to hit that subscribe button and say hello in the chat. When are you going to sign you, host, and make a great goalie? Yeah, great goalie. A big pylon is what I would be. Here's another big loss to the Florida Panthers, but a huge pickup for the Detroit Red Wings, signing Ben Sherratt, 4 years, $19 million, so 4.75 cap hit. This is a huge, huge signing for the Detroit Red Wings. The Red Wings just getting stronger and stronger. I think they're also a big winner in today's kind of free agent frenzy. Slavoski, this was the number 1 draft pick, first overall. He signed his entry-level contract with Montreal, so that's good. He's not going to pull an Eric Lindros and withhold and hold out. So he is signed his entry-level deal, 3 years with the Montreal Canadiens, and we're going to see him as Montreal takes on the Toronto Maple Leafs in the regular season opener. So that is scheduled. So if you haven't already set the reminder and hit the like on that stream, make sure you do that. Eric Gustafsson, he's going to sign a Washington deal. Again, a nice little depth defenseman, picking up a 1 year, $800,000 contract. Burakovsky signing in Seattle. This one caught me a little off guard. Burakovsky, good player, lots of speed. Seattle going out there, putting the investment in him, 5 years, $5.5 million. Insane, but this is a great pickup for Seattle makes them a little bit stronger, gives them somebody who has bounced around a bit, has a lot of experience. So he's going to come in and help with that situation over in Seattle. Shane Wright and both the Columbus first rounders, Rittich, they all sign their entry-level deals. Yeah, and it's nice to see that happen. So Mark Stahl, Florida, actually, I think they're back-to-back. Florida securing both Stahls, Eric Stahl and Mark Stahl. Look at that. Each get a one-year deal, $750K apiece. The Stahl brothers getting to play together in Florida. So that's a nice little pickup there. Mark Stahl on D, he's been okay. Eric Stahl, Eric Stahl is Eric Stahl. He's starting to slow down a little bit. He doesn't have the oomph that he used to have, but that's pretty good. 2 Stahls, 1 team. Good little pair of signings there for the Panthers. Now, David Rittich, he comes into Winnipeg, 1 year, $900K, so a little backup there. Here's Shane Wright. Shane Wright gets his 3-year entry-level deal signed up with the Seattle Kraken. And this was another big one. And for me, this is probably the steal of the day. Dominic Kubalik, Chicago Blackhawks kind of did not qualify him. He becomes a free agent. Detroit picks him up 2 years at a $2.5 million cap hit. This is huge. Kubalik, man, he was shot out of a cannon like just a year ago, I feel it was. And he was ripping it up. This guy's got hands. He's got speed. He can do absolutely everything. Ian says, none of us have the oomph we used to have. Yeah, that's very true, Ian. That is very true. But this is a huge pickup. If you're a Detroit Red Wings fan, and Detroit, if you're still here in the chat, man, what another pickup. Kubalik going to the Red Wings. This is an unbelievable pickup and a reason why Detroit is one of the big winners today. Greg McKegg, an old Toronto draft pick, he is going to sign with Edmonton, reuniting with all the old Leafs over in Edmonton. I think Edmonton pretty much has a Toronto alumni team at this point. So let's keep going here past some of these. Nick Patan, he's going to sign a 2-way deal in Minnesota. He spent a little bit of time in Toronto. Didn't really get a fair shake, spent most of his time in the Marlies, but he was okay. Yeah, Texas, Kubalik is good. He's real good. And let me tell you, when he got hot that 1 year and went on a tear, man, I sold one of his Upper Deck portrait gold numbered cards for a nice little penny. I'll say that much. So yeah, Kubalik, I'm a big, big fan. Let's keep scrolling through here. Colin White, he's going to sign 1 year with the Florida Panthers. David Perron, this was a big one. Perron leaving. He's coming over to the Red Wings again. Another solid pickup. Solid pickup by the Wings. Love Pugs, what's going on? Welcome in. Huge, huge pickup, David Perron. 2 years. He gets $4.75 million. Again, Detroit is really investing strong in their team, and they're going to make a run. They could potentially be a wild card team this year and sneak into the playoffs, which would be really, really good for Detroit. So we'll keep going here. A couple of signings. Minnesota had some 2-way contracts, some more depth players getting signed. More depth players. Carrick, another ex-Maple Leaf, going over to Boston. Let's keep Keith Cade. He's going to sign in Boston. So Boston picking up some players on some 2-way contracts. Calvin Pickard, he's going to go back. I think he was also a Maple Leaf at one point, going over to Edmonton on a 2-year contract, $750K. Nick Cousins, he's going to sign 2 years in Florida. Nicholas Dolores, 4 years at $1.75 million. Nice little pickup here just for the Flyers. Nice kind of gritty left winger. Justin Braun signs in Philly. Again, another nice grinder, big, tough defenseman signing in Philadelphia. Oh, some more depth players. Dennis Mulligan. This was a surprise. Dennis Mulligan, he left Toronto to went and play in Europe. Toronto bringing him back. Apparently he had 2 great years being over in Europe. So really going to be interesting to see what kind of role Mulligan is going to play in Toronto. Henrik Borgstrom going to the Caps. Now, I love this pickup. Bernie, I don't know what your thoughts are on Borgstrom, but I'm a huge fan of Borgstrom. when he signed in Florida or was drafted in Florida, man, I was so excited. I thought he was going to do good things, and Florida ships him off to Chicago. Never really got a chance to blossom. So nice to see him coming over to Washington. If he gets some playing time, I mean, the kid's 24 years of age. So if he gets some good playing time and some good minutes, he'll actually make something happen. Andrew, what's going on? Cash it to the Hurricanes, eh? Oh, boy. Oh, boy. We're going to talk about that in a little bit. Colin Miller, he signs 2 years, 185 with Dallas. Trevor Lewis signing in Calgary. Calgary has a lot of roster spots to fill, so we're going to skip over some of the depth players. Poolman, I like Poolman, not just because he has a cool name. Nico Sturm, he's going to sign San Jose 3 years at a $2 million cap hit. He was bought out by Chicago with Brett Connolly a couple of days ago. Great Borgstrom signing when the Caps signed Connolly. He wasn't brought back by the Bruins. Yeah, we'll have to see. Host just saying I show 30 likes. Are we at 30 likes? Oh, man, I wasn't expecting to dance tonight. All right, so I guess we're gonna stop on Josh Archibald. Josh Archibald, we're gonna tuck you aside. If we're at 30 likes, then we got to keep up the tradition, keep the tradition alive. Get a little shimmy in, There it is. 30 dance. Dance, monkey dance. Thanks, Dallas. There we go. Party time on Free Agent Frenzy. It's crazy day. All right. Now that we got that out of the way, let's bring our players back. Archibald, he gets his 1 year in Pittsburgh. Davis, a 2-year contract in Buffalo. Some more depth. Here it is. Kasha, he leaves Toronto. Toronto wouldn't sign him. He goes over. Dean, welcome in. Thank you for being number 30. Kasha comes in, a 1 year deal over in Carolina, $1.5 million. It's too bad. I really like Kasha. He played well in Toronto. I know he had a lot of injuries and he was banged up off the time, but he was starting to really come into his own. So nice pickup here for Carolina if Kasha can stay healthy. Here it is. Justin Schultz signs in Seattle, 2 years at $3 million a year. Nice little pickup there. We got more two-way deals. Martin Jones, goalie, he signs over in Seattle, 1 year, $2 million. So again, a nice little pickup there. Let's get past these smaller deals here. Adam Brooks. Poor Adam Brooks. This kid has bounced around. I think he's been on like 6 teams in the last 2 years. He's going to sign a 2-year deal in Philadelphia. This was a kid Toronto had drafted. It looked like he had such potential coming into play in Toronto. And then they kind of waived him. He got picked up. Or didn't he go? He got waived and picked up by Vegas. And then Vegas waived him. And he got picked up by Calgary or Winnipeg. And then, I don't know, he got waived again and came back to Toronto. And then this kid has moved around so much. Feel bad for him. But at least he's signing out a 2-year deal. It is a 2-way contract, so hopefully he can stick around for a little bit. Hey, D, what's going on? Here it is. Here's the big signing of the day. Johnny Gaudreau, Johnny Hockey, couldn't leave Calgary fast enough. He signs in Columbus, 7 years, worth $9.75 million per year, a total of $68.25 million. Johnny Gaudreau, 7 years for a whole dump truck of gold bars. And Johnny Gaudreau had an unbelievable season last year. 115 points, 40 goals, 75 assists. And when you pick a year to have your best year, you do it when you become a free agent because, man, look at the cap he just pulled in, $9.75 million for Johnny Gaudreau. Now, this is going to be interesting to see how he performs in Columbus. I don't think Columbus is as strong a team as Calgary was. So we'll see how Johnny performs over in Columbus. Moving right along, Marcus Johansson. This is the one Bernie was talking about earlier. 1 year, $1.1 million. Marcus Johansson. He kind of gets a little handout there. He's going to go in. You know, he's going to see limited minutes over there. Just my opinion. We're going to keep going. Here it is. Hayden Fleury, defense. He resigns in Tampa Bay, or sorry, not resigns. He signs in Tampa Bay 2 years at a $762.5 million cap hit. That is bonkers. Clearly, this is one that says we're not going to pay you the league minimum. We're going to pay you just a little bit above the league minimum, just a little bit. So a $762.5K cap hit. Hayden Fleury going to Tampa Bay. Riley Smith, here's a nice signing for the Vancouver, my God, the Vegas Golden Knights. Riley Smith, 3 years, $5 million a year. He's going to stay and play in Vegas. Michael Hutchison, thank goodness, Michael Hutchison. He also signs in Vegas. Really sorry, Vegas. Pack him up, ship him out. Michael Hutchison going to over 1 year, $750K. This is going to be an interesting one because Michael Hutchison, he had a tough time in Toronto, and he was not the most liked in the locker room. So he's going to move out, and good luck, Vegas. Really showed move by Tampa. It's the first-round talent. Fleury could be a steal. Fleury could absolutely be a steal. It just depends on what Fleury is going to show up. Now, Vegas also signing Brett Howden, another kind of depth centerman there, picking him up. Vegas really busy signing a lot of these kind of depth players, locking them up. Here's Calgary. Calgary Flames getting back in the mix, picking up defense Nikita Zerdev, 2 years, $3.75 million. Nice little pickup there. They just signed. What's going on? Calgary, yep, Texas, perfect timing. Whoops. Where'd it go? There it was. Zerdev. He signs in Calgary, 3.75. Nice little pickup there. The Flames. He's going to stick around. Some more Vegas pickups. I think Vegas signed 1 million players today, but they're all, they're really depth players to fill the role. And that's going to bring us to the top of the board. That is going to be all the picks. We went through those really, really quickly. So all in all, when all is said and done, when you take a look at the winners and losers, Gordon, how's it going? Welcome in. The winners and losers for today. For me, it is the Ottawa Senators. Huge winner. Huge winner. Signing Giroux. That's going to make a big difference. Not only is Giroux going to make a difference, but, the trades they're making, they went out, they got Dylan Gambrell earlier. So that one signing, Claude Giroux, is going to help, bring everything together. And you never know what else Ottawa can do. So Ottawa was a huge winner today with that big signing. As well, Detroit. Detroit has to be the other one. They went out and they improved their team so much. Biggest pickup for Vegas today was the $7.7 million cap room for dumping in Pacioretty to Carolina. That is true. That is a huge winning, free up all that money. But if we look at Detroit, Detroit, they signed Andrew Cobb, huge pickup. They signed Oli Mata, nice little depth pickup. They signed Ben Sherratt, great defensive pickup. They signed Dominic Kubulik. He is going to be on fire. They signed David Perron. Put all of these with Lucas Raymond and Mortiz Sider. Man, Detroit is looking so good. It's just a whole bunch of winning combinations put together. Montreal, they got their entry-level deal done, so that's really good. Rangers, I wouldn't call them a winner, but a nice little pickup, the Rangers today, signing Vinny Trocheck. So that's a nice pickup today. We talk about, Tampa Bay doing a nice job securing their future, really. So you give them credit. They brought in, names sticking off for the 1 year, but they're big deals. Sergachev, Cirelli, Chernik all signed 8-year deals. Absolutely huge for Tampa Bay. And then you put in Ian Cole and Hayden Fleury. It's going to be an interesting mix to see what comes out of Tampa next year. Now, I hate to say it, one of the biggest losers today is my Toronto Maple Leafs. And I'll say it, I'll admit it. And if you guys are Toronto fans as well, you may be thinking the same thing. Toronto, what did they do today? They pick up Dennis Malgin. Here's somebody they could not get along with a couple years ago. Yeah, he had some good seasons. They're going to give him a chance to bring him back, but come on. They signed Adam Gaudreau, again, taking a chance on a guy here for the league minimum. You sign Nick Aube-Kubel, 1 year, depth player. You know what you're going to get from him. You sign Ilya Samsonov. Again, you're hoping he performs as expected and it plays well in the backup role. Probably get a little more action than a backup role. And then, of course, you had the big trade with Matt Murray just the other day. So Toronto really is kind of looking like one of my losers. There's still so many players that we have not seen land anywhere, which is shocking, is absolutely shocking. When we look at kind of the big board, right, the who was out there and what free agents were available for the taking, there were just so many we didn't see. Like, for example, we know Johnny Gaudreau signed. Nazem Kadri's still weighing his options. He's interviewing. He's going to probably talk to every single team that can afford him. So Kadri's still trying to figure out exactly where he wants to end up, where he wants to play, and how much. We've heard rumors that teams like Seattle, teams like Boston, were going to offer him long-term deals at $10 million, but does he really want to go there? No, he wants to go to a contender. Well, what is he going to get from a contender? It could be $8 million. Could he see Johnny Gaudreau money? It's going to be really interesting to see what kind of a deal Nazem Kadri gets together and comes out. John Klingberg from Dallas, we haven't seen him sign anywhere. He's another huge potential steal, getting picked up, a huge defenseman. Ondrej Palat, we haven't seen Palat sign anywhere. Where's Palat going to go? He's going to demand good money. When you talk about Tampa Bay in their, 2.5 Stanley Cup championship run, 2 championships and 1 almost championship. So we'll call it 2 3/4. Who's the guy that really made a difference? It was Palat. Bergeron and Krejci are both done deals in Boston. Won't be announced till tomorrow, the earliest. Thank you. So Klingberg sounds like he might be returning in Dallas. That would be huge if Dallas can sign Klingberg and hold on to him. But again, Palat, he's a guy who, he's not a superstar, but he was so instrumental in the Tampa Bay runs, in their Stanley Cup runs. So I'm sure there's lots of teams talking to him. He's trying to see where is his best fit to go in. Could see both Stromes and Kessel maybe to Nashville. That would be interesting. And I was just about to say, we haven't heard anything about the Stromes nor Kessel. So that would be huge for Nashville. Nashville, locking up their Scoresburg, Philip Forsberg, just the other day. And if they bring both Stromes and Kessel to Nashville, wow, that's a huge, huge potential boost to that team. I think that would be absolutely spectacular. We saw Mason Marchment go. We saw Max Domi go. I think, to me, outside of Giroux, because knowing Giroux was, heading home, the biggest surprise is Max Domi. That one completely caught me off guard. I don't know why. I really, really don't. I was not anticipating Max Domi going to Chicago. So that was a real interesting pickup there. And Chicago did well. Let's not kid ourselves. Host, think of the day you'll be calling these trades and your boys make it onto the Maple. Yeah. I've seen how my boys play hockey and I love them dearly, but I don't think playing in the NHL is in their foreseeable future. Maybe the Maple Leafs softball team, they would have a better chance at. And again, welcome in. If you're just coming in and hanging out and joining us, thanks for hopping in. We're talking trades. We're talking free agents. We're talking everything. So thanks for joining us. We do have it set as a subscriber-only chat tonight. So if you want to get in on the conversation, hit that subscribe button. Come in and talk to us. So what I'd like to do, I'd like to try something different, a little off the wall today. I want to open up the stream. And what I want to do, don't make me regret doing this. What I want to do is I want to invite you to come and join me and talk about your favorite teams. So there are some rules. I will post a link that you're able to come and join me on stream to talk about some of these trades and talk about your teams. But here are the rules. You have to be above the age of 18. So if you're under the age of 18 and you're not working at camp or whatever and you're home and you're watching, I'm sorry, I apologize, I can't have you on. So if you're over 18, you're more than welcome. Also, please refrain from using any non-family friendly language. We are a family friendly channel, so I'm going to trust you. You come on, you got to keep it family friendly. So if you're interested, I will post the link in the chat and we can talk about what you think. I'd love to get your opinions. So again, don't worry about your hair and makeup and all of that. This is something we tried quite some time ago. We haven't tried it for hockey, but I would love to do this. And if it works, maybe this is something we'll do again in the future. So don't make me regret it. I'm trusting you. All right, so here we go. We're going to put this in here. So if you're a subscriber and you would like to join us, I'm going to replace the pinned message. So there's the link. Simply click the link. It's going to bring you into our program that you can come in and talk a little bit about it. Now, I'm only going to have you come in for a couple of minutes to have a conversation. So again, this is something brand new we're trying because I want to open the stream up to all of you because this streaming, you guys have made this channel everything it is, and we've had so much fun during the hockey season. I'm going to invite you to join me. So you're more than welcome to click that link and come on and do it. I can't do it right now as I have a pink room. Andrew, no worries. Listen, it's totally optional. We're going to try this again throughout the season, but I want to try it now because I know everybody likes to talk about their teams. So link is posted. As I was talking, Chicago, Max Domi, he was my surprise. It wasn't the salary. $3 million is a pretty good deal for what he brings, right? He didn't have a great run. He wasn't a huge goal scorer, but listen, he played in 72 games. He was gritty. He hit. He was a grinder. He does have decent hands. He can put it all together. The potential is there. So it's a nice little pickup for Chicago. All right, here's our first guest. What's up, Dean? Here's our first guest. You've seen this guest before. Hey, you Triton. How's it going, buddy?
Good. And if anybody records this, I'm going to deny the whole thing.
So who are you most excited for of all these training signings?
Well, the signings, I'm not sure, but I know who I'm rooting for full force this year, and they better pull through.
Oh, I can't wait to hear this. Who are you rooting for full force this year?
The Maple Leafs.
The Maple Leafs. We heard it here first. Heard it here first. And Triton, I'm going to bring somebody in to join us to the conversation. First time on our stream. Eleanor, good evening. Blair, what's going on? Please welcome the man, the myth, the legend, the one who has more hockey knowledge than all of us put together. Bernie, welcome in.
Did you honestly think I wasn't going to jump in and make my presence felt? Finally, I've been waiting. I was hoping I was going to get in with you guys on Saturday night here eventually. I mean, come on now. The knowledge.
How are you?
The real deal is here.
The real deal, for sure. And Bernie,
Let's go.
Before we even get into the moves, I have to say thank you so much for all of your input over the course of this past season. It's so appreciated. So thank you for always hanging out.
So many stats in the chat. It's really interesting.
And the head is to scale, by the way. So as you see all the wrestlers and other things in the background.
That's outstanding. Bernie, we may have to do a separate stream to look at all your memorabilia there.
So who's your favorite pick that Sam's going over?
What was that, Triton? I didn't hear you on that.
Who's your favorite draft pick?
I'll tell you, I mean, what Sam was talking about earlier with Ottawa and with Detroit, and of course Tampa and Colorado being both, I mean, re-signing some really key pieces like Manson and Lehkonen, and then you have, I mean, the three for 160 million for Tampa. It's going to be interesting to see what they do with guys like Vasilevsky, and Sergachev's going to be making more than Hedman in 2023-24. If that doesn't blow your mind, nothing will.
Yeah, that's insane.
And since I don't see the Bear Shark in here, how are the Rangers doing on the draft?
I like what the Rangers did. I liked what the Rangers did with Trocheck. I mean, they needed to find someone to wear number 16 with Ryan Strome going out of town, so that was an easy fit. And needless to say, I think that's why Johnny Gaudreau picked Columbus over the Islanders, Devils, and Flyers. Number 13 is available in Columbus, isn't in the other three places. So with Barzell, Kevin Hayes, and Heishier wearing 13 in those places. So that definitely made sense. And you got to think the Buckeyes are going to have him dot the I at one of the home games this year.
Oh, yeah.
So, Bernie, do you do a lot of research, or does all this hockey talk come natural to you?
All in my head. For some strange reason, we all have these idiosyncrasies, Triton, and mine is I just remember useless facts, and just everything just sticks to my head. I just gain knowledge of a lot of different things, and it just sticks. For some reason, I
hear you there, because I know just about everything there is about Star Trek.
About what?
Star Trek.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, like I said, going through between the Capitals and the Redskins, I will not refer to them by any other name, and the Orioles, and even the Wizards, Bullets, and other teams. I mean, it's just sports in general. I just am a sports junkie practically.
Yeah, we had
and I'm a lot better. I'm a lot better than the people that call themselves that in DC.
Yeah. Didn't we have that conversation about a week ago, Sam, with these names? Why they had to change them?
We did, yeah. It drives me nuts. I will always refer to these teams as their original names.
I don't see the point. It's not harming anybody. If anything, it's, I hate to say, but
not to get political at all, but hockey is the only one of the four major sports that hasn't gone into that rabbit hole. And I'm not going to bring up examples right now, but that's the only. I mean, they did the one thing with the whole uprising with that situation in Minnesota that I won't go into, but they did their one day, took it off, and there was no fans in the bubble anyway, so it didn't really harm them that much, and they went right on with the playoffs the next day, and they just went on doing what they needed to do. So,
but some of these teams have had those names forever, and it's like, well, now all of a sudden they got to change them and this and that,
Yeah, 90 years of history flushed down the toilet. February 2nd, 2022, the NFL died in my eyes.
Yeah, crazy, just crazy.
But hey, Redskins always in forever.
Let me ask your opinion. How do you like the signings that Edmonton did, going and keeping Kane, bringing Campbell and Kulak? Do you think that makes them stronger?
Being the one at 12:03 p.m., 3 minutes in his free agency, Jack Campbell was a Oiler. I mean, they jumped on it early, often, but the Evander Kane one is monstrous. He was leading the league in goals in the playoffs with McDavid. I think we brought it up on one of the live streams we were doing during the Western Conference Finals. He had, I think, 32 goals in 53 games with Edmonton. That's a 55-goal pace, boys and girls. That would have tied Draisaitl for the team lead.
Yeah, and he led in the playoffs. He led goal scorers with goals, and he led in penalty minutes. So that's pretty awesome that you have a guy who can score like that and mix it up when he needs to.
Well, I think a lot of people's heads are blown right now because you remember Nicholas Backstrom has a $9.2 million cap hit that probably won't be used this year. And there were some rumblings. EJ Raddick actually brought it up on a local radio show with a friend of mine that I deal with a lot in the local district, in the local DC media. And he brought up the idea of Nazem Kadri coming to the Capitals.
Oh, that would have been interesting.
To be on Tom Wilson's line. You want to talk about the line from hell for 31 other teams? That would be it.
Oh, yeah. Man, you get either one of those guys, Wilson or Kadri, coming out of the corner along the goal line, just storming the crease. Man, that would be tough business to play against.
Okay, I'm glad Bernie's here.
You have two guys. You have two guys that can go 30 to 30 goals and get 100 minutes and just be a thorn in your side for 60 minutes plus, and leave it all on the ice. If you had a listening team, all you do is get Hunter out of retirement, put them on the line, and just.
Yeah, you're breaking up a little bit there, Bernie. So I caught bits and pieces what you said, but yeah, man, that would have been something. It'll be yeah, I think we're losing Bernie. I think we'll see if Bernie can come back in.
Okay, before I go, so somebody else can come on, I'm just gonna say somebody is 500 and less than 520 subscribers away from a certain thing he promised. However, I will never mention it again if before the new hockey season goes, I get a Leaf cap in the mail to wear during the Leaf games.
I don't even have a Leaf cap.
Well, I wasn't going to ask for a jersey. That's more expensive.
Yeah. All right, let's see if we can get Bernie back in here. See how it's going. All right, do we have you back, Bernie?
I should be here. Hello, me again.
Yeah.
Remember me, the big-headed guy in Rockville?
Yeah,
There's all my
the pictures
on my WWE Hasbro in the background there.
The audio's coming in. The picture's a little choppy, but that's okay. That's okay. So I since you're here, let me ask you. I think the biggest winner overall, I said it a few times, is the Red Wings. Do you think the Red Wings all of a sudden just became a playoff team?
Well, you got to think. Last year, they did the same thing when they signed Pius Suter when Chicago let him go for some unblowing your mind reason. Dominic Kubalik scored 30 goals, and you just don't even qualify him? And he got $5.2 million for 2 years. If I was in Washington, I would have signed him for 4 years at $2.6 million per. I mean, that guy is a 30-goal scorer. You put him on Dylan Larkin's line? I mean, come on. That Detroit team is deep now with Copp and Larkin down the middle.
Yeah.
Now, when they make these trades, the teams are stuck with them, right?
Yeah, well, you're essentially signing these guys. You're signing them for whatever your term is. Now, a lot of these deals do have no trade clauses or no move clauses, so you are kind of stuck with them. Now, a lot of these players, if you want to trade them, you'll say, hey, we're working on a deal to trade you to Toronto. And they'll say, okay, I'll waive my no trade clause. So there are situations where you can move them. But for the most part, if you're shelling out, X number of millions per year for, 5, 6, 7 years, you're stuck with that guy.
So even if they can't play hockey, they're stuck with them.
So they have things in place. So let's say, he goes down, there's long-term, IR where, he still gets paid, but he kind of comes off your salary cap for a little bit. So there is some movement if in extenuating circumstances something happens.
And there's also the 35-year-old and over contracts. You are stuck with those. They instituted it several years ago because a lot of teams tried to put those big contracts with the escalators and then be paying them like $1 million a year in their 37 and 38-year-old years in case they retired. Now, if you sign a guy after they're 35 and they retire, you're stuck with the whole contract. That's why you see a lot of these recaptures with like Duncan Keith's contract, and that's why you see guys like Shea Weber and them not officially retiring.
Yeah, it gets very complicated. They actually, there's a front office position all these teams have what they call a capologist, where all they do is study the salary cap and where they are and how much money they have and how they can move parts around to create space. It's pretty crazy.
Well,
the NHL is the one sport of the major four that the cap, you actually know who's where cap wise.
Yeah, for sure.
So
all right, Triton.
Maybe Ian can come on. He knows more about hockey than I do.
All right. Well, thanks, Triton. Appreciate you joining us as always.
Nice to see you, Bernie.
Good stuff, Triton. Good to actually put the face to the name in person, if you will.
All right. So thank you, Triton. If you want to join us, if you want to get in on the conversation, in the pinned message, there's a link. You can click that link. Come on and join us. We're talking hockey. We're getting your opinions on the moves that have been made. We're just talking about Detroit. Cobb is great and Kubulik is great, but Sherratt, this blew my mind because
I'm begging for Bear Shark. Where the hell's the Bear Shark?
Let me text him. Where's my phone? Let me send him a message and tell him to come in and join us. But what do you think of Sherratt signing over in Detroit?
Mo Seider only got better today with having Ben Sherratt on that blue line. Scary how good that team. Stevie Yzerman has done everything right. We knew that Derek Lalonde or Jeff Halpern was going to get the coaching job once Tampa was out of the playoffs because Yzerman with the Tampa Bay Titans. Now you bring that in, and also Jeff Blashill goes to Tampa Bay to be Cooper's assistant now, replacing Lalonde, who replaced him in Detroit. Go figure.
Yeah.
And Andrew Brunette, I saw, went to New Jersey as an assistant coach today. Oh,
good for him. He kind of got a bit of a raw deal in Florida. I thought he did a good job. He deserved to kind of stick it out. He had a great run with that team, but I'm glad he went and was able to, get another gig.
So the Devils did something today. Oh, it wasn't Johnny Gaudreau? Damn.
It wasn't Johnny Gaudreau. That I'm still shocked at Columbus. I of all the teams, that was not one I was anticipating hearing. It blows my mind. And for that kind of money, 7 years. He's only 28 years old, right? So he's still a young kid. Here we go. We got another guest coming in to join us, Bernie. Here is the one and only DHG, Dallas Hockey Girl, with her blue lipstick.
Dug it out of the cupboard just for tonight. Hey, Sonia can't be the only one to have blue lipstick. A girl's got to have some fun. So
there you go.
Thank you. I just came in. The numbers and the stuff aren't my thing. I just wanted to come in and tell all our hockey fans to thanks for such a great season and that we had so much fun all hockey season. And it was all thanks to our hockey fans in the stream. And count right on your calendars, October 12th, 91 days from now, the first Leafs game of the season. We will all be there.
I can't wait. It is going to be fantastic.
It's going to be the longest 91 days of Sam's life.
Yeah, you guys won't start Samsonoff in the home opener. You just won't. You won't.
You never know. It's so great. It's so great to meet you, Bertie. I want to see your giant book of numbers because I know you have one.
Right there.
It's in his head. All in his head.
Thank you, Earth Citizen. Earth Citizen coming in with the super sticker. $10. Thank you, Earth Citizen. Appreciate that so very much. Lindsay, what's going on? Welcome in.
Triton says he's going to be the Leafs #1 fan. Dude, get in line. Get in line. Seriously. It's been since 1967. We've been
maybe
waiting.
Sam will have a stream. Maybe Sam will have a stream for a 20-person Royal Rumble to be the Leafs #1 fan for next year.
There you go.
My dad will be fighting for that because he was there for the Leafs' last win, and he's been waiting every year since 1967.
Well, I hate to say it. I know I kind of already said it once, and it hurts to say it, but I don't think Toronto did themselves any favor this year.
No.
Matt Murray, he has the potential. He has the potential, but they really didn't go and get any pieces to fill the gaps of what they lost. Losing Mikheyev, losing Lyubushkin, losing Blackwell, losing Kasha. They're going to be hurting a little bit. They're going to be hurting a little bit. So everybody around them is getting stronger. Listen, Ottawa is going to be strong, so it's Buffalo is going to be a great team this year.
It's going to be a tough season, but I think they can do it. If anybody can do it, I can do it.
But we're only in day one of free agency. A lot can happen, especially in a flat cap.
That is
true. That is true.
I will step out. I just wanted to say thank you to all our hockey fans.
All right. Thanks, Dallas. Appreciate it as always. Have a good one. Bernie, I think Bear Shark is ignoring my texts.
Well, hey, you probably got an improvement in the looks category, although I look like Santa Claus,
That's really funny, actually. So yeah, Toronto, not one of my top winners. Vegas was a little surprising to me this year. I don't know your thought about Vegas, but knowing they didn't have the best of years last year, they came in and they signed, a bunch of
Vegas, Sam. Vegas, Sam, I'll tell you this right now. They are paying for their mistakes after year one when they went to the Cup final.
Yeah.
And they had we out off coach last and Strome and all the guys that could have been the future of Vegas while still keeping the core that got them to the final. But they had good players, but to the point where now they have to unload guys for peanuts.
Yeah.
Coughlin was very good on their power play down in Henderson, and they had to put him in that deal to Carolina.
Yeah, it's
even firing Blunt was terrible.
Yeah, you're breaking up a bit there, but yeah, they had to dump a little bit, and they're still projected to be over the cap, so they really are in a whole kind of heap of trouble. And we saw, with Jack Eichel coming in and starting to play in Vegas, coming back from his injury, just now was coming back for an injury. So we'll give him the benefit of the doubt that he'll probably have a better year. But it was tough for Vegas. It was really tough.
Well, they get all. Like you said, they go after the rock.
Yep, we lost Bernie. Looks like his signal cut out. But
their prospects, they're not patient with their prospects. They think they get the Cup year one and think, oh, we need to be here every year. Well, guess what? You missed the playoffs this year. Now you're paying for all your sins. Yeah,
and looking down, and if anybody isn't familiar with the site Cap Friendly, if you're ever curious to see, where a team is and who's getting paid what and how many years they have left, Cap Friendly is a great website to use. And Ike, what's going on? Welcome in. But looking at Cap Friendly, it looks like they're stuck with this group for at least this season and next season. It isn't until 2024-25 they have a bunch of UFAs coming off where they're able to really start making some moves. Because there's a lot of salaries here they're not going to be able to move a lot of these salaries even if they wanted to, unless they're, retaining a bunch, but that doesn't really help them. So Vegas.
No, they have, so much salary in guys like Stone, guys like Shea Theodore, guys Riley right now. You have $5 million money. Especially when you had Marc-Andre Fleury locked in and in a great deal. Why are you messing with that?
Yep. So it will be very interesting to see. I know they have, they picked up Shea Weber, they have his long-term money tied up there, but it'll be interesting to see what Vegas does to try and get out of it.
Are going to pass Vegas if they don't get their salary cap in shape.
Yeah. I agree 100%. Again, everybody in the chat, thanks for coming in. Appreciate you being here. If you want to join us, excuse me, on the stream and talk about your teams and some of the moves and give your opinions, in the pinned message at the top of the chat, there is a link. If you click that link, it will allow you to come in and join us. And you can definitely come in and have some fun talking with us, sharing your opinions and whatnot. And I don't know if, just in case, I'm not sure if everybody can get to that link, but what I'll do is I'll post it again here, just in case you can't see the pinned message. Again, all we ask is that you're over the age of 18 and you keep it family friendly, but you're more than welcome to join us. So Bernie, we kind of talked about some of the winners, some of the losers. In the trades leading up, was there a particular trade that kind of caught you off guard that you really didn't think was going to happen?
Ooh, well, seeing Brett Burns and Max Pacioretty both going to Carolina makes me very afraid right now. I thought the East was tough last year. This year, hello, boys and girls. The Eastern Conference. Good luck getting into the playoffs.
Yeah, you know what? That Brett Burns deal, that one surprised me. I thought he was going to be a career shark, start to finish. I was shocked that they actually moved him. He is such a solid player. Makes me wonder if there was something else.
Well, that was bubbling up the last 48 hours.
Yeah.
That was bubbling up the last 48 hours. They went to Burns and see if he wanted to move to a contender, and Dallas was in on it because they thought they were done with Klingberg. Well, now everything's going full circle. I'm surprised Montreal hasn't gone in on Klingberg. And I mean, until Seattle went for Schultz at $3 million, I was thinking Klingberg was possibly going to Seattle, and that would have been a big money pickup right there, especially with all that young talent that Seattle is amassing up front.
Yeah, it really strange. Let me pull up Carolina. I want to see what they're shaping up to look like now, because I assume this is going to be updated. Let me just double check here.
I'll be back in a second there, Sam.
Yeah, no worries. So that's Bernie. Bernie's kind of been joining us, talking some hockey, taking a look at the Carolina Hurricanes. Again, two huge trades involving Carolina, picking up Max Pacioretty and Brett Burns. When we look at the Carolina Hurricanes roster, we're talking about, you got Sebastian Aho, you got Andrei Svechnikov, you put Max Pacioretty in there, you got Jordan Staal in there. He's the link. They need to send Jordan Staal over to Florida to be with Eric and Mark. But you got those guys in there. You got Kotkaniemi, he's in there. Martin Hook's in there. They pick up Kasha for some grit. You kind of go through the defensive side. You got Slavin in there. Brett Burns slides in there now. Skiji, Pesce. So, man, Carolina, they're looking like a real strong force to be reckoned with. So while they didn't kind of capitalize in the free agent market, doing these trades, counts just as much as signing some big free agents. And they didn't give up that much. So huge for the Carolina Hurricanes. Ryan Strome to the Ducks. Is that just in? Yes, that is just in. Thank you for calling that out. I appreciate that, Andrew. So hot off the press, Ryan Strome, he signs while we're sitting and talking here today. Ryan Strome going to the Ducks. 5 years, just waiting to see the numbers coming in terms of what they are paying him. Ryan Strome from the New York Rangers going over to the Anaheim Mighty Ducks. That's a huge signing for the Ducks. The Ducks really improving themselves. Let's see if we can update this here. Whoops daisies. Too many clicks. So you're still waiting for that salary to come in. But Anaheim, they pick up Frank Vetrano. Now they pick up Ryan Strome. Two players they steal away from the Rangers. Nice little pickup there. Strome, 21 goals, 33 assists for 54 points last year. locking him up for 5 years. That's a great pick. And does Gordon Bombay still coach the Ducks? That's amazing. Only if Crew was here, he would be killing it with that comment. So yeah, nice pickup. $5 million, you say. Good night, Morgan. Thanks for hanging out. $5 million. That's a pretty good cap. That's a pretty good some pretty good coin for Ryan Strome. Picking up $5 million, if that is indeed what they're giving him. And do we know the length of that, Andrew? Did they have? Oh, I said 5 years. Yeah, so 5 years at $5 million is what you're saying. So let's see here. Let's go Ducks. So let's take a look and see if they have it listed here. There it is. Ryan Strome, 5 years, $5 million. Nice pickup there. That is, I'm trying to look backwards a little bit, see what kind of a raise that is for him. And it looks like a pretty decent one. Here it is, 2021. So he was at $4.5 million previously. So he gets a $500,000 increase. So that's nice. I'm going to take a look at this. I'm going to try this. There's a new feature. We're going to try this. We'll be right back. All right. I don't know if that worked. Oh, it did work. All right, we should be back. That was odd. There was a new feature there. Wanted to click the button and see what it did. Looks like we got Bernie back as well. Bernie, welcome back. I don't know if
Man, Mother Nature called, and I was gonna break the Ryan Strome news, but you beat me to it.
Yeah, there you go. Ryan Strome, 5 years, $5 million. Nice little pickup. He gets a little bump. He made 4.5 on his last contract, so he gets it there. And nice little pickup. Yeah, so
replaces Ryan Getzlaf.
Yep, exactly. Getzlaf, it's interesting. Getzlaf, he was such a good player in terms of a multi-category guy. If you were a fantasy hockey if you're a fantasy hockey person playing, Getzlaf was one of those guys like Ovechkin you like taking because he fits so many different categories, whether it's plus minus, hits, you get some penalty minutes, goals, assists, special teams. So Strome's going to come in. He's going to have some big shoes to fill if we're going to use the Getzlaf comparison. But I really liked what I saw from him in the playoffs. I've always been a Strome family fan, if you will. Ryan has definitely been on the up and ups. He's starting to get up there at 29 years of age. But I think this is a good little pickup for Anaheim.
Yeah. Hey, you play 7 minutes with a broken pelvis. For God's sake, you're a hockey player through and through. I mean, goodness gracious. But yeah, Strome's going to make. I mean, you got all that young talent there. Even though they didn't qualify Sonny Milano, let him go, and they could bring him back. But Ryan Strome's definitely an upgrade. I mean, definitely will help Zegras' game mature more. And I mean, I never shun from right dot center.
Yeah, and you got Mason
Very
McTavish
in the NHL.
Yeah, Mason McTavish there as well. And you think he's probably going to get a shot to play with the club next year. He should, be really good. And, of course, picking up Frank Vetrano as well. 2 key players from the Rangers they have coming over.
And they played on the same line. So, I mean, they just get to keep playing together after they played together with the Rangers.
That's right. That's right. And they still have a lot of cap space left over in Anaheim. So it makes you wonder, could they be in for the other Strome as well? Could they be in to the Nazem Kadri sweepstakes? It wouldn't be a stretch to go from Colorado to Anaheim. So that would be interesting.
No, I mean, you go from maybe add a piece on the blue line.
Yeah, and I mean, they got Fowler still locked up for a couple of years. Shattenkirk in there. Drysdale, he's a nice young talent. They could definitely use a strong defense or two to bolster that blue line, but it looks good. And of course, John Gibson, who is rumored to be coming to Toronto about a million different times, but he's staying put. So Anaheim just, very quietly made themselves a much stronger team by 2 key pickups.
Yeah, I mean, you see what LA did with getting Kevin Fiala. I mean, Kevin Fiala was a tremendous pickup by LA, taking advantage of Minnesota's cap hell. But I mean, there's another big piece out there, and that's Jacob Chychrun. What does Arizona do with Jacob Chychrun? Does LA put together a couple of their young prospects like Gabe Velarde and Kaliev? Or does Columbus throw a couple of contracts and a couple of high picks? They have a bunch of them stacked up. Maybe they throw a bunch of them in there and put Chychrun on the blue line to go with Werenski with Johnny Hockey. All of a sudden, Columbus is thinking maybe we sneak into a wild card next year.
Wow. Now that is a true hockey mind right there, putting that together. That would be something. I mean, Chychrun has, $4.6 million cap hit. Arizona isn't going anywhere. So that would be interesting if they could somehow move him and put some of those pieces in place in Columbus. That would be very interesting. Very interesting. Again, welcome. If you're just coming in, thanks for joining us today. Appreciate it. If you haven't subscribed, hit that subscribe button and come in and say hi in the chat. Now, we do have in the pinned message, there's a link. If you're a hockey fan and you have opinions, family-friendly opinions, but if you have opinions on any moves your team made today, click on the link. Come on and join us. And I open the stream up to you. So come share your opinions and let us know what you think of your team improved or not.
Yeah, Sam opened a forbidden door and look what kicked the door down. The big ogre in DC.
So we did this last year for Thanksgiving and Christmas. We opened it up and we invited people to come in and share kind of their holiday stories. And it went really well. And that was a long time ago. Our channel was very different back then. Now, where we are and all the new friends we've made, I thought this would be a lot of fun to kind of open the door and bring some hockey people in and talk some hockey. Jeff, how's it going? Welcome in. Welcome in. Dallas did a few things, nothing major, but they pick up Mason Marchment, Jeff, which is a nice little pickup from Florida. 4 years on Marchment, Colin Miller on their D. So a couple small pieces, nothing major. But the question with Dallas is, potentially do they re-sign Klingberg? He hasn't gone anywhere. Could he still be trying to work out some numbers to stay in Dallas?
Why not? I mean, no state tax down there in Texas as well. I originally saw, I think earlier in the day, they had Marchment maybe going to Carolina, which scared the bejesus out of me, saying how well he played for Florida until he got hurt against the Caps. But with Marchment down in Dallas, you put him with Jason Robertson, you put him with Pavelski, you put him with Sagan, Radulov. That team got deeper on their top 9 too. So I mean, Dallas isn't going anywhere, and Ottinger's only getting better.
Yeah, I agree, and it's nice pickups. I was a huge Mason Marchment fan. As you know, Florida, my number 2 team. So I was super excited. I actually had him in my playoff pool. And
I know.
Man, he was looking really good until he got kind of banged up. So yeah, I'm really impressed with that pickup from Dallas. It's funny, I go through every year. I watch the draft, I watch free agency, and you probably do the same. We're sitting there and it's like Dallas just signed it, Marchment for 4.5. What, Toronto, come on, you could have freed up 4.5. That's good price, And you're always every signing. Why couldn't my team do this? Why couldn't my team do that? And it drives me nuts as a hockey fan. And then especially when our teams go out and do something like give $1 million to Marcus Johansson.
Don't you dare go there. But I mean, to me, you bring up that point. It's so well said. Especially this year with the Caps is concerned, knowing that we got technically $16.3 million possibly going to long-term injury reserve at the beginning of the season with Backstrom, Wilson, and Hagelin. You have a lot of money there to play with, but at the same time, you got to figure out who might be back before the playoffs next year and you have to allocate that money to make sure that it's there, unless you have to shed a salary to bring that player back, aka the Vegas problem we have going on in Vegas right now, where you are pretty much stuck trying to figure out how to get guys back off a long-term injury reserve to make the playoffs, and they didn't. Oops.
Yep. And I mean, it's you always got that Nikita Kucherov play, right? If your team is good enough to get in the playoffs and you can sit out half a year or 3/4 of a year and then come back in the first round and make a run for it.
Well, there's also another humongous piece that is dangling that a lot of people didn't see coming until last week when the draft happened and Chicago decided to go full Connor Bedard mode. And that's Patrick Kane. 1 more year at $10.5 million. And if you up the ante a little bit with an extra pick or two, Chicago might keep $5 million of that. You get a Patrick Kane for about $5.5 million. Probably the greatest American player. It's to lace up some skates to be on your team. I'm waiting for Buffalo to throw the Brinks truck down there and it's like, hey, we'll take them off your hands.
That would be something.
Patrick Kane home in Buffalo, being the savior to put him back into the playoffs.
Oh, man, it almost sounds too good to be true. Hey, Snoopy, welcome in, and Bruce, welcome in as well. That would be something, because I tell you, Buffalo is going to be a really good team this year. They were probably one of the best teams in the league the second half of last year. They were just too far back to really pick up enough steam and get in there. But, guys like Skinner, Opozo, Tuck is now back. He's healthy. You re-signed Olofsson. You got Middlestat. Tage Thompson kind of came out of nowhere. And right now, if he continues to develop the way he has, it's a steal at 1.4. He's going to be an RFA in 23-24. Then you got him and Cousins, a bunch of young guys. Bryson on the blue line. Lyubushkin they just picked up. Man, the only thing that worries me about Buffalo is their goaltending.
Yeah, but here's also another big thing, Sam. You saw Colorado. Buffalo has what Colorado has, and that's 2 stud blue liners about the same age as in Rasmus Dahlin and Power. And if those 2 play like Owen Byron, that growth gets accelerated a full couple of years. And to your point, goaltending, they signed Eric Comrie, who's never really gotten a full chance in the NHL. They have Anderson there for stopgap. They have Malcolm Subban there for stopgap. Pekka Lunin is supposed to be their guy of the future, but he hasn't taken one ran with it yet, even though he pretty much was put in an unfair situation in the lockout in the 2021 year when he had to play the Caps, the Penguins, the Rangers, the Islanders, those teams in the division, in the revamped Mutual Metropolitan Division that 1 year as a rookie. That's called shell shock, boys and girls.
Yeah, you make a good point, and I totally glanced over, Dahlin and Owen Power. What a duo, on the blue line that these guys can be. So much promise they were showing. I know they're both young. Was it Dahlin at 22, Power at 19? Matthias Samuelsson also 22. Yorkeru at 23.
Kid, yeah, he came up and played well.
Yeah, so you got a really, really young defensive core. And who's your veteran on the defense? It's Lyubushkin, the guy they just took away from my beloved Leafs.
You want scary? Ulf Samuelsson's kid with Lyubushkin as a pair. You better watch your knees.
Yeah, that they're going to be serious. They're going to be a lot of fun to watch this year, the Sabres. And yeah, Jeff makes a good point. Jeff's arguing Madonna, the greatest American player, but Kane's certainly in the conversation. Now, imagine both of those guys. I'd love to sit and compare. Madonna definitely, has the numbers. And I tell you, my favorite Madonna memory of all time is when his pants kind of came undone and he was trying to wrap them up and get to the bench and his pants are half falling down and he's stumbling all over the place.
Jeez. Actually, he had a pretty good showing at the golf tournament this weekend, the celebrity tournament. He had a top 10 finish. Pavelski almost won the thing. He lost in a playoff, and TJ Oshie was leading in after the first round. So the hockey players were well represented in Tahoe this year.
Nice. These guys, something about athletes in golf, they hit the ball so well. Several years ago, a couple Blue Jays, I went to play at a club, and a couple Blue Jays, Alex Gonzalez, who was it? It was Alex Gonzalez and was it Sean Green? I can't remember. But they were teeing off just in front of us, and watching them hit the ball was like unbelievable. And hockey players too, right? It's almost like that slap shot motion. They already have the way they turn their hips and their weight shifting. They just hit the ball so unbelievably well.
If he had a long, smooth swing, it probably definitely was Sean Green. He had one of the sweetest strokes in baseball, whether it was with LA, with Toronto, Philadelphia, wherever he stopped in his major league career.
Yeah, few stops on the bus path there for for the greener.
But he hit the ball. I mean, you get paid to put that ball between the two lines. And hey, if you only have to succeed 3 out of 10 times at the plate to be a Hall of Famer.
There you go. Well, listen, I want to open it up. If anybody else wants to come in and join us, the link is in the pinned message. It's an open forum, so you're welcome to come in, join us, talk some hockey. We're going to wrap it up momentarily, but I want to give everyone kind of last call if you are interested to come in and share your opinions. The link is in the pinned message up above. Let me drop it in the chat one more time here, just in case. So you go ahead and click on it and come on in.
Come on in. We don't bite. And if you find a bear shark, bring them on in, because we can definitely use the comic relief.
Yeah, I'm surprised. He usually responds to me right away. He's avoiding us both.
Yeah, so I guess you want my Capitals take while you got me.
Yeah, let's hear it. Right. Let us know.
Well, Kuemper was a must do, especially when the Colorado made the move for Georgiev. That pretty much put Kuemper out there, and then when Toronto put Matt Murray as their guy, and Kevin Weeks has spoken well about Murray's training regimen. So I was more convinced about the Murray pickup when I heard Kevin Weeks on with. I think it was on with Bisonet and Whitney on Spit and Chicklets podcast a couple nights ago when the Murray move was made, and he was talking about how Murray has asserted himself physically, trying a lot of different things, and feels the best he's been physically in 4 years. But to another person's point, he was exposed by the Capitals in 2018 by being able to go side to side with the puck, as well as to expose that glove hand that he's had trouble with since he left Pittsburgh. But Kuemper was a must-do. Charlie Lindgren, I know he had a great 5-game stretch with St. Louis, and he's also been backed up of Carey Price, very highly regarded when he came out of Minnesota Duluth. Or no, St. Cloud State, my fault. They were Minnesota Civil War. If I picked the wrong college, that was Shepherd was Minnesota Duluth that Cap Stav and Hershey. But really solid backup at $1.1 million. I was a little down on that, but then I remembered that he had a great stretch with the Blues there when Husso was hurt and Bennington was hurt, and I think his save percentage was .960. I was like, okay, yeah, I think we can work with that. I mean, when you see $3.3 million for 3 years for a backup goalie, you take a step back until you do more of the number crunching. Eric Gustafson's a very sneaky signing at $800K. I remember when he got traded to Philly from Montreal, and he was like a point a game guy for the Flyers. And I think he went to Chicago, and for Chicago's been a train wreck the last couple of years defensively. I don't know how. I mean, that team was very, very good deep when you saw him on paper last year. So, Connor Brown move, he's like a younger Oshie. I mean, if he gets a chance, he's had a couple 20-goal years, one with Toronto, one with Ottawa, was an alternate captain on it with a bunch of young guys. He gets a shot to play in top 9 minutes with the Capitals. And he's very good shorthanded, which is something Caps could use, another right-handed guy in that situation. The $1.1 million waste of money that they use, we will pass over because of the only thing he did was eliminate Toronto 1 year and in overtime, and he had 1 goal against Florida this playoff. Other than that, he keeps getting put on the first power play and he keeps getting put on top 6 minutes. I'm just like, he didn't prove himself to be a top 6 guy the first time he was here. We shipped him out to New Jersey and then we bring him back at the trade deadline last year. It's like, why? And then you re-sign him. Why? You know, I mean, I've contended that Brian McClellan has no clue what he has in Hershey. The only reason why they came up and played so well is they actually got a chance because we needed them to, because they were hurt, injured, or what have you. And it's just frustrating that there's so many good young talents in Hershey, like Protus and Leeson, Garrett Pilon, Wendell Clark's kid Cody had a solid year this year. Riley Sutter, Richie, I think that's Richie's boy. Is he Richie's or Ronnie's boy? It's one of the youngest Sutter's boys. I mean, they have a lot of good prospects down there, and I thought they had a really good draft. I loved everyone they picked. I mean, the 6th rounder Hofer is another Wilson if he puts on about 20 pounds of muscle. They picked the kids they got at the beginning of the draft were, I mean, I was thrilled with the 2nd round pick, the defenseman. So they really did good restocking the cupboard. So, I mean, I think they aren't done. And I have a feeling they are kicking the tires on Kadri and Dylan Strome and maybe another center as a just in case you get down the road and Nicholas Backstrom's like, they tell Nicky, hey, take the full year off, make sure the hip is right. We know the history of Jovanovski and Kessler with this surgery. We don't want to take the chance. If you're not going to be ready this year, don't force it. You got 3 more years under contract. If you got hockey left in you, you'll be here. We want to take a crack at this thing this year, and we have a couple of really good people that can replace you at your contract hit. Figure it out next year when we're having the second cup parade.
Listen, I absolutely love the Connor Brown pickup. I was a huge fan of Connor Brown. I was really ticked in Toronto when it came down to, do we have to keep Connor Brown or Zach Hyman? I really wanted to keep both of them. And, Brown going to Ottawa, and he did really good things. Even when he played for Canada, did really good things there. So coming over to Washington, getting a chance to play some minutes with some really talented hockey players is going to be great for his career. And I think he'll have a really good impact there. Washington's going to be, I mean, they were already a scary team last year. And if they stay healthy, man, they're going to be real scary. And if they do get in the mix and they can pick up a Kadri, oh boy, that's they're going to be the force to be reckoned with in the East.
Well, I think also is with Backstrom's 9.2, I'm already calling it right now that Max Domi might be a capital at the deadline next March with that $3 million very friendly cap hit that he signed for in Chicago. I mean, that's pretty much a deadline flip, just like Athanasiou will be a deadline flip. $3 million. I mean, those are very easy contracts to trade, and Chicago will get a couple picks for each of them and be really set up for the next drafts or two. But I mean, you look at if the Caps are healthy and Backstrom's healthy and Oshie and Wilson are all there, you put Connor Brown on the 3rd line with Eller and Sheary. Whoa. And you can even move him up to be with Backstrom and Amantha and Wilson and Oshie and Kuzi and some other guy that has 9 million goals. I mean, that wears number 8. That isn't bad.
Yeah, I hear he's okay.
That's not a bad top 9.
He just needs to change his laces.
or not keep scoring hat tricks against the Maple Leafs.
Yeah, that too. Well, we just sent our goalies out to take them out. That's all.
Yeah, you take third string goaltenders to trip them into the boards and cost them 3 weeks.
It's all strategy.
Yeah, there's that get Shalgren another trip to the AHL this year behind Samsonov and Murray.
Yeah, that's he wasn't ready. He's not ready to be a full-time goalie yet. But the games he played last year, Shalgren looked really good, and I think that kid's going to have a bright future. I just hope he doesn't get wasted playing in the AHL.
I think I got shell-shocked in that Tampa game that he got left out to dry in where he gave up 8 goals. I mean, I think that was a reality check to him because he played, like you said, he played well until that game. And after that game, I don't think he really got his magic back when he got back in there. Of course, I'll blame Arizona for Ovi getting hurt because if they didn't claim Harry Sateri, he'd been the goaltender backing up Campbell, not Shalgren. Shalgren was still in the minors, and Ovi might have been still standing. Because Sateri was
Arizona strikes again.
Yeah,
Well,
the
listen,
Tempe bandbox of 5,000 plus. Yeah, woohoo!
woohoo! Listen, Bernie, thank you so much. We're going to start to wrap it up, but I really appreciate you jumping in here, talking with us. We're going to do this again. We'll have you on again.
Well,
Thank you
even
again.
Strength coming on Saturday night. If the Bear Shark didn't want to come in tonight, he might have to get a surprise of his life on Saturday night.
Oh, we can definitely make that happen. Do me a favor, on my channel in the about section, I have an email address. Will you shoot me an email and let me know how I can hook up with you so we can set something up for the future?
Absolutely, because I'm lost trying to tell you guys what's going on in NHL with trades and all that stuff and free agency. I'm putting it in the comment section of the past Even Strength episodes, and you guys are probably getting lit up with like, holy crap, he's got like 12 messages in here. What's he putting in? It's like, I'm putting in all the stuff we missed over the past week, so you guys have it for next Saturday night.
Yeah,
I think
for sure. Yeah,
I think the FPE email right now is about 25 deep with all the free agent moves from today.
Oh, nice. Yes, shoot me a note and we'll sync up and we'll make this happen again. So again, thank you for all the contributions.
Talk to you live finally. It's finally good to talk to you live.
Likewise.
Border to border, coast to coast, capital to capital almost.
And no exchange rate.
God help us all. Now we just need to smack around the leaders of our countries and actually wake them up to a couple things. We'll be good to go. Woohoo!
There you go. Bernie, have a great night.
Bless you, Sam. Take care, brother.
You too. There is our good friend and hockey stat guru, Bernie. So again, thank you for hanging out with us, Bernie. We appreciate it. Again, I saw some comments here I want to scroll back to and get to. All right, Gator goes, have a great night. See you later. Road Warriors says Sharks fans going berserk about the Burns trades, but it was needed. Yeah, you know what? You're right, Road Warrior. That was a huge, huge deal. Totally caught me off guard. I didn't see that one coming. But I can imagine the San Jose fans must be just going out of their minds. Flames got somebody hot. So the Flames signed Zadarov, good pickup, 2 years at 3.75. Saw somebody earlier. Let me see. Somebody was asking about Chicago. Prime Gaming. Thanks for being here. Yeah, Chicago did well. They made some interesting pickups with Max Domi and Etsiatsu, Alex Sadlak, and Blackwell. Some nice pickups for Chicago. The question will be, who of these players actually finished the year in Chicago's? Bernie and I were just kind of talking about Max Domi and Andreas Anesi, I can't even pronounce his name, Atheniasu. Those contracts, those salaries at a 1 year level are very good trade deadline deal flippers because both those players could help a team in the playoffs or making a playoff run. So we'll see if they end up the year staying with Chicago. Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for being here tonight. I said it last call. This is the real last call. The pinned message has the link. If you want to join me, you got one last call. We're going to shut it down momentarily. But if you want to come in, say hello, and give your opinions on the moves that have been made, the link is in the chat. You can go ahead and click on it and come in because we're about to wrap up. Josh, how's it going? Crazy time in the NHL. Happy with what my team did. Josh, they made some great moves. They made some moves they had to make. They had some guys, they needed to lock up with Nichushkin being the big one, locking him up for 8 years, locking Manson up for 4 years, and then Lehkonen locking him up for 5 years. So, yeah, I would absolutely be happy with the moves that the Avs made. Some great, great pickups there. Got Mr. Burns. Yeah. So unbelievable moves. We went through all the pickups today. Still a lot of free agents out there that are available that we're waiting to see where they land. The two big ones being Nazem Kadri and John Klingberg. Those haven't been announced yet. You're very welcome, Josh. So this is going to do it. We've covered the draft. We've covered free agency. Coming up next for the channel is going to be in August, which is, my gosh, it's only 2 weeks away. But I believe it is starting. When is it starting? I believe is it the 10th or the 11th or the 12th, somewhere around there. August 10th, we will have the first Canada World Junior game. We got the first 4 games of the round robin. Canada, Latvia, August 10th. Canada, Slovakia on the 11th. Canada, Czech on the 13th. And Canada, Finland on the 15th. That'll do it for the round robin. Then it goes into the elimination games and the working up to the championship. So we're going to follow Canada all the way through the World Juniors. And of course, October 12th, the stream is scheduled. So make sure you go in and you click to set your reminder. Montreal Canadiens versus Toronto Maple Leafs in the NHL season opener, October 12th. That's going to be our first NHL game back. So lots of more things to come on the channel, but those are the hockey streams set to go. It's going to be fun. Sounds like Gaudreau was offered north of 10 mil from both Devils and Isles. Wow. And he shut them down. Interesting. Passes on New Jersey, passes on the Islanders, and moves to the Blue Jackets. Interesting. Mountain, how's it going? Do you cover other sports besides hockey? No, hockey is really my forte, if you will. We might do a little World Cup soccer. I'll be honest, straight up, I know very little to nothing about soccer, but Canada is in the World Cup, so we might just follow Canada's path in the World Cup and see what they do. But really, hockey is what I cover. If you are looking for other sports, maybe you are a football fan, a basketball fan, a baseball fan, let me mention our good friend Pete McDevitt Show. They're our partner channel now, our proud partner channel when it comes to sports. Pete does an unbelievable job when it's baseball, football, basketball, even does a little bit of hockey, lots of Disney content. But if you're a baseball fan or football fan, Pete is definitely the way to go. I want to mention our other partner channels, our good friends over the FPE network. You can catch us streaming on the weekends, Saturday nights throughout the summer, 9 o'clock, Even Strength. Our hockey recap show will be live there. Again, talking through all these deals, talking about the draft, the future state of all these teams. We're going to be having a lot of fun Saturday night at 9 o'clock. That stream is already scheduled as well. So make sure to hit the reminder and hit the like there. Our 2 partner channels, the FPE Network and Pete McDevitt Show. Unbelievable people. Yes, man, they do play rugby in Canada. Canada's rugby team is not the greatest, but we do have a rugby team. I never played myself, never played rugby, never had a huge, I never had a big liking of rugby, but it's interesting. Sometimes it's on TV. I'll watch it for a moment. Are you a big rugby fan, Mountain? And so that's really going to be it. That's what we have upcoming. Those are our partner channels. Lots of fun. I want to thank you all for being here, supporting the channel, and coming in, hitting the likes. If you haven't subscribed, go ahead, hit that subscribe button. We're trying to build get our subscribers to continue to climb. And the other thing as well, if you enjoy the content here on the channel, do me a favor, share the channel out. Put it on your Facebook, your Instagram, whatever social media you have. Tell your friends, tell your family, hey, come check out the Samwelb12 Experience. Come over, have them check us out because we appreciate it. If you're looking to do even more with the channel, we have our channel memberships that are available. Simply clicking the join button. If you're watching on a PC, you can become a channel member. Broncos football. Gotcha. So then, yeah, Pete McDevitt is the guy for you. He does all kinds of football. So you can watch your hockey here with us, catch your football over with Pete. He crushes it with football. So with that said, I will say thank you everyone again for hanging out as we covered all the free agent signings, talked with Bernie, talked with Dallas, talked with Triton, had a lot of fun. We'll do that again. We'll open up the lines in the future and bring everyone in to talk about their opinions on various topics. Speaker Tweaker, what's going on? So is Matthew Tkachuk gone? Matthew Tkachuk, it's interesting. Nothing has happened with Matthew Tkachuk as of late. I haven't heard anything. Let's do a quick little check on that before we wrap. We can take a look at the status of Tkachuk. So he is still he's a restricted free agent, right? So he has the opportunity to go through arbitration, work through something with Calgary. Calgary can trade his rights, but nothing has happened with Tkachuk. Same with Andrew Mangiapane. Both are in the same boat as restricted free agents. Have to think $10.5 million now to spend. Tkachuk should be able to get paid. You'd think so. You'd think losing Gaudreau, Calgary needs to sign Tkachuk. They need to sign them both, Mangiapane and Tkachuk. So we'll have to see what comes out there. So we will leave it there, leave it with our good friends, the Calgary Flames and Tkachuk. Again, thank you, everybody, for all this support. We appreciate it. We look forward to seeing you Saturday night, 9 o'clock for Even Strength. And then, of course, join us for the World Juniors coming up. And make sure you have your notification bell hit. So when we do go live with our Lego builds or our baking, and if you haven't watched the baking video, watch it. It's hysterical. That's all I'm going to say. So yeah, thank you. We appreciate it. Like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Have a good night. Take care. Samwelb signing off. Thank you for watching this presentation of NHL Playoff Hockey brought to you by the Samwelb12 Experience. Thank you, mods. The SMS crew is the best crew around. Thank you to all the new friends who have subscribed, for all of you hitting the like button, and of course, all the donations you've sent. We appreciate it. Thank you. We'll see you in the streams for more NHL Playoff Hockey. Thank you, and have a great night.